Assalamu alaikum students, we are going to discuss the MCQs of chapter number 1 and chapter name is biological molecules, right? So in total we have here 10 MCQs, but I will discuss it in two parts. First 5 MCQs in part 1 and the remaining 5 MCQs in the second part, right? So that you can easily see the complete video and can understand the MCQs one by one, right? So the MCQs number 1 is the slight negative charge at one end of one water molecule is attracted to the slight positive charge of another water molecules. What is this attraction called? You have to notice here these points which we have to focus on, and I underline these points, right? So slight negative charge at one end of the one water molecule is attracted to the slight positive charge of another water molecule, right? So what is this attraction called? We are going to discuss here the hydrogen bond. What is hydrogen bond? It is intermolecular force of attraction. Intermolecular force of attraction means that it is the attraction which is between two molecules. That's why we are called it intermolecular force of attraction, right? Formed between the two molecules, one of which contain a partially charged H positive, one of which contain the partially positive charge, and the another contain the partially negative charge, O negative, right? If we see the hydrogen, if we see the hydrogen of the water molecule, this is one water molecule. So hydrogen of a water molecule contain partially positive charge, right? And the oxygen of the water molecule contain partially negative charge. This is the another water molecule, this is the another water molecule, right? There is attraction represented with the blue dotted line, which is known as hydrogen bond. The oxygen, the partially negative oxygen of the molecule 1 is attracted to the partially positive hydrogen of the molecule 2. Same as the partially positive hydrogen of a molecule 2 is attracted to the partially negative oxygen of a molecule 3, right? So there is the attraction between the partially positive hydrogen of a one water molecule to the partially negative oxygen of another water molecule, and this attraction is known as hydrogen bond. So here the correct answer is, what is this attraction called? This attraction is known as hydrogen bond, right? Second MCQ is the tendency of a water to coalesce oil drop into the large droplet. What does mean coalesce? Coalesce means to come together. The tendency of a water to coalesce oil drop. It's mean water have a tendency to come together all the oil droplets and form into one large mass into a large droplet called, this tendency is known as. We have to discuss here the property of a water that is hydrophobic exclusion. What does it mean? The tendency of a water to coalesce oil drop into the large droplet. Hydrophobic exclusion means it is the tendency of a water to coalesce oil drop into the large droplet. The water molecules have hydrogen bonding between them, as we discussed it in MCQs number 1. So this hydrogen bond are destroyed by the presence of the hydrophobic oil. Let's consider we have a flask filled with water, have hydrogen bonds between them. If we add the oil in it, the oil droplets try to destroy the hydrogen bonds between them, right? These are the oil droplets, but water molecules have a strong tendency to form the hydrogen bonds. So water molecules then form more hydrogen bond with themselves. Water molecules want to attract their own molecules, attract the other water molecules and form a hydrogen bond with themselves. So what will happen now? The water molecules will come together, the water molecules will act each other, and the oil droplets come together, clump together, and they form a large oil droplets. It's mean the oil droplets will coalesce into a large droplet, right? Like this. So this tendency of a water is known as hydrophobic exclusion. Why we give it this name? Because this exclude means it is push away hydrophobic substances like oil from the water. So if we go to our question, the tendency of a water to coalesce oil droplet into large droplet called, the correct answer is option B, hydrophobic exclusion, right? MCQ 3 is the covalent bond between two monosaccharide is called. Monosaccharides are subunit monomers of carbohydrates. Let's consider we have a two monosaccharide. Here we have one monosaccharide plus we have another monosaccharide. If these two monosaccharides join together, it means they have to make a bond between them, and what kind of bond they form? Covalent bond. If these two monosaccharides form a covalent bond between them like this, they will become a one unit, right? Now we call them disaccharide. Why we are calling them disaccharide? Because di means two. Two monosaccharides are combined together, they form a bond between them, and the nature of the bond is covalent bond. And we name this bond as glycosidic bond. It means glycosidic bond is that covalent bond which form between the two monosaccharide. Here is the example. There are two monosaccharide, glucose and glucose. Glucose are monosaccharides. These monosaccharides are joined together, they form a glycosidic bond, glycosidic linkage between them, and they are now known as maltose, and maltose is disaccharide, right? So what is the correct answer here? The covalent bond between the two monosaccharide is called glycosidic bond, right? MCQ number 4 is the most abundant carbohydrate found in nature. Abundant means in large quantities. It means that carbohydrate which exist in large quantities in nature is cellulose. Cellulose is a carbohydrate. It is a polymer of glucose. It means many glucose combine to form a long chain, form a polymer which is known as cellulose. And cellulose is most abundant carbohydrate found in nature. So it means here among glucose, maltose, cellulose and glycogen, the correct answer is option C, cellulose. The fifth MCQ is most important organic compound. Most important organic compound of the cell which carry out virtually all of the cell's activities. If we discuss here about the proteins, proteins can be defined as the polymer of specific amino acids. Amino acids are the monomers, amino acids are the subunits of the proteins. These specific amino acids arranged in a particular manner to form a protein which perform a definite function, right? So proteins are the most important organic compound of the cell which carry out virtually all of the cell's activities. They also constitute the major part of the dry weight of the cell. It means if we take out the dry weight of a cell, and protein will make the major percentage of that dry weight, right? So here the correct answer is option A, protein. We have discussed here the first 5 MCQs, and for the remaining 5 MCQs you have to check the part 2 of MCQs of chapter 1, right?